Thank you very much. Yeah, the pro blacks. It's sad to say. It's sad to say, but the pro blacks that have supported me in Africa, I got a feeling a lot of them are gonna switch sides when I step foot in Romania, especially whenever they see me with a white woman.
Hi guys. So I actually saw this tweet a while ago, but at that time I was not planning to make a video. So the tweet is from this Austin Holman as kisser named Passport Tracker, and in the tweet, Passport Tracker shows the reaction of Americans. And when he says Americans, it's very obvious he's talking about Black American women. The reaction of Black American women to Austin's travel to different parts of the world. And according to the tweet, when Austin went to non-Black majority countries, Black American women were angry. They were angry when he went to Brazil, to Thailand, to Vietnam. But then when he went to Africa, they were happy. But then uh, Austin leaves Africa and goes to Romania. Now they are triple angry. It's not just him, right? There is a quote tweet from someone named Blackmail First, and in that tweet, Blackmail First says, "I was harsh on Austin. I was unable to see the long game," which means the long game of Austin getting Black women to be on his side, thinking that he will Black American women to be on his side, thinking that he will stay in Africa and only date Black women. Now he got them hooked on him, or watching him, and then he goes to Romania and dunks on them, because and all this came that this idea that Austin going to Romania is going to make Black American women jealous, came from the belief by the passport bros that when Austin goes to Romania, he's going to date a lot of white women. He will not. It will be very easy for him to get a lot of beautiful white women to that to date, and that he could use those beautiful white women against Black American women, against Black women. Mind you, he's going to Romania, a country with almost 100% white people. So they're thinking that, Romania, there are a lot of beautiful white women in Romania. So he is going to have an abundance of white women who would want to date him, who would want to be with him, and he could use those white women to make Black American women, Black women jealous. And it's not just them, right? Even Austin himself thought he was going to have, he was going to be with one beautiful Romanian woman after another and get people jealous, get Black women jealous. And you could see that from the earlier videos and from the earlier live streams. When I say earlier, I'm talking about when he first arrived in Romania. He had video titled "Black in Romania, Are Romanian Women Approachable?" And in that video, he suggested that yes, Romanian women were approachable for Black men. Then he had this live stream titled "I Love White Women European Tour." In that live, he was, elevating Romanian women over Kenyan women, over African women, over Black women, trying to make it look like, Romanian women were better than African women. He was saying things like, how he met this Romanian women at a cafeteria, at a cafe or something, and how the way she carried herself were more feminine. The way she sat was more feminine than the Kenyan girls. The way she touched him was more romantic than Kenyan girls. He actually said that no Kenyan girl has touched him or has cared for him the way this Romanian girl was doing.
And then she waves and she speaks again. And then this time she comes and sits by me, and she sat in such a feminine way. It was so pleasant. What she did was she sat. It was a couch I was sitting on. She sat on the couch and she crossed her legs like this, and she leaned back and she did her face like this. I was like, God damn. Do you see how she looking at me? She constantly put her when she would talk to me, she would touch my knee while she would talk to me, or my thigh and my knee, right? We love that kind of affection. Don't you like that kind of affection?
Yeah, I do.
We love that kind of affection, right? Let me say something. When I was in Africa, I did not get that too often. The only three places I've been to so far in the world that I've gotten that, the whole texting me this and that, and then kissing up on me, talking, touching on my thigh and all that. The only three places I got that was Romania, Brazil, and Colombia. Now I'm gonna let you guys figure out what relation that has.
So it was obvious that, and he said he wanted to marry her. So it was obvious that he thought he could, he thought he will have a lot of dates like that, and he could use those dates to get black women jealous, to get black women angry, because it's obvious that he was not just looking at this Romanian girl and being in love with her. He is comparing her favorably with black girls, because that was that was the whole thing. The whole thing was, he was gonna go to Romania, have this one beautiful girl after another, and use them to get black women jealous. And in that live, he mentions Dr. Umar. He said that he doesn't care if Dr. Umar attacked Dr. Umar Johnson attacks him, because he's expecting, Austin is expecting that he's going to have a lot of Romanian women, a lot of white women, and he's going to to be on video with those Romanian women one after another, and Dr. Umar would see that video and get angry at Aston for dating black women. That's what he's thinking.
Y'all go ahead and report me to Dr. Umar Johnston and tell him I don't give a fuck. He said Umar is gonna have a video on Austin. Guess who doesn't give a fuck?
Who is Dr. Umar?
A guy that is pro-black, and he is very likely, if he saw this, he would have something to say.
Oh, okay.
So the European women in Eastern Europe are none like no other.
Aston, and he thinks, if Dr. Umar is going to be angry at him, of course, so would black American women, so would black women, right? So that's what he's expecting. He thought he was going to have, a line of white women coming on his show, or if not on his show, at least dating him, taking pictures with him, that he could use to make black women angry, to make black women jealous, to make Dr. Umar jealous. So that was the expectation. Then reality hit. Then reality told him, that's not what's going to happen. Romanian women were not tripping all over themselves to date him. He was not going to get beautiful Romanian women knocking at his door to try to date him, to try to be on his show, to try to take pictures with him. And the thing is, he was actually willing to settle for second-rate Romanian girls. I mean, he was saying on his show that, the Romanian women that would be available for black men to date are, the Romanian girls that white men do not want. So Aston was willing to settle for the second-rate women. But even those women didn't want to date him. So, so it became clear for Aston very soon, very quickly, that he was not able to weaponize Romanian women against black women. He could not use this Romanian women to make black American women jealous, to make them angry. And it became clear very quickly. So because he and Floyd were going out almost every day, every night, and not getting any girls. So when he realized that he was not able to use Romanian girls against black women, he changed his tune. He started to say that the Romanian girl, he started to make it look like he really doesn't like Romanian girls. He started talking about how his preference are black women. I mean, he always said that whenever he could not get other non-black women. So he went back to that to his mantra that his first preference are black women. So it was funny to see, because you see that he failed in Romania spectacularly, right? Because he thought when he went to Romania he was going to use Romanian women against black American women. He thought black American women will be pulling their hair out in anger watching him date all these beautiful white women, but that didn't work. Right? That didn't work. So he failed miserably. Then of course he went back to saying that anyways, he didn't really like white women, and then so he wanted to make it look like he had always liked black women. We know that's not the case, right? Because when he went to Europe, he was saying how beautiful the European women were, how he was going to be dating them. I mean, he was talking about how East Europe was racist and dangerous for black men, but he was saying that he would, risk his life to go there because these women were so beautiful that he's willing to risk his life. So it's obvious he likes these women, but the problem is these women do not like him. So he was not able to use them against black American women, black women. Then he started to give this excuse that Romanian women only see him as fetish.
And being black, but honestly, you're just more so of a fetish in all these other places. If you're a black, South in Europe, I think that's just a lot of times that's what it is. It's just a fetish, a fantasy.
And somehow he tries to make it look like that offends him, and that's why he doesn't want to date. In reality, that is not true, right? Because there was this one short of him I watched one time, but I could not find it, where he was talking about basically being fetishized in Philippines, in some village or city in Philippines, and he was very flattered by it. He was not offended by it. So the problem in Romania is not being fetishized. These black men, a lot of them love being fetishized. They actually think that this notion of black men being fetishized is something black women created, something black women invented to prevent black men from dating non-black women. In fact, when Austin posted about being fetishized, they were calling him, like they were telling him that he sounds like a black woman. So these men do not hate being fetishized. They are absolutely okay with being fetishized, and it's obvious this man includes Austin. So Austin has absolutely no problem with being fetishized. The problem in Romania is not being fetishized. The problem in Romania was not getting women at all. That was the problem. He would have been fine if the Romanian women were rushing to him and to his home to have sex with him because they fetishize him. He would have been okay with that. The problem was not the fetish. The problem was the absence of available women. The women were not making themselves available to him. That was the problem. And so he was not able to use these women to get African American black women jealous, to get American black women angry at him. So being angry at the kind of women he was dating. So it's kind of funny because it didn't work out the way he thought it would work out. instead of Black American women being angry at him, being jealous at who he was dating. It was him who ended up being angry at the fact that no Romanian girl was willing to date him. And like I said, he was even willing to lower his standards, but still no Romanian girl was, there to date him. And, so that's what I wanted to say. Let me say this as a postscript. A lot of these passport bros tell you that they are leaving the West to get the hell away from Black Western women. But these passport bros, even after they leave the West, they cannot stop talking about Black Western women. They cannot stop talking about Black American women. So it is, kind of pathetic that, you tell us you're done with Black Western women, but you cannot stop talking about them. Your whole behavior is focused around getting a reaction from Black Western women. You center them in whatever you do. So it's kind of pathetic that, you have left the West, but you still cannot stop talking about Black Western women. Kind of pathetic.